So a Japanese knife came in and you can see it's got a really big chunk missing out of the front of the knife here. We're going to have to bring all of this down to meet this, to give this a new point. So we're going to be grinding off a pretty significant portion of metal here. You know, we got to take all this off. We're going to make this our new point, but we're going to keep the same geometry. So we're just going to bring this line down to meet that tip, and that's going to be our new tip there. I thought it would be fun with the new thermal camera to set that up and see what temperatures we get, because this is a pretty significant grind here, and we'll take a look and see what temperatures we start reading on here. And I will dip and dunk this when I have something like this. You can, some people you'll see spray it with sprayers. A lot of times I'll just keep a jar around of water, since we are going to be working on pretty much the tip here. I'll just dip it in the water, but we're going to use the thermal camera together so that we can we'll see what the numbers are and see if we get anywhere near 300 or 400 degrees. I don't think we'll come anywhere close to it, but it's always worth you know, doing tests like this just to see for sure. Now, the other thing I'm going to recommend, if you don't have some significant heavy duty belts, it's for stuff like this. So I'm going to start with a 36 grit. This is a Bora 736, and you can see it's pretty aggressive, and then we'll jump to the 60. But that will save us a ton of grinding time. If I tried to do this with a 120 Bora 7, I'm just going to be beating up that 120 belt for really no reason, and that's kind of, you know, our starting belt. For something that we want to remove this much material, we don't want to start that high. We want to come down, you know, nice and low and get through a lot of this material that we got to get off of here. Now, also a lot of times what I'll do is I will draw on the knife. So I'm going to grab me a Sharpie, because I just want to make sure I got a nice line again on here, and I don't want to remove any more material than I have to. And then this also gives me the ability to bring the current angle down. So what let me come over to the camera. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm basically going to set this angle up right there, and then I'm just going to slide down to where I hit my chip, and that's where I'm going to draw across. So I'm keeping the same exact profile of the knife. And there we go. Give you a quick view of that. So you can see we'll be taking all of that off and restoring this to its normal profile. All right, so let's get started. We're gonna see how much material we can get off at first with the 36 grit Bora 7. I'm gonna grab a mask. All right, in the top left corner, you're gonna see a little picture-in-picture. This is from the new H-Calorie thermal camera I was sent to do a review on. And actually, after this video, probably 15 or 20 minutes after this one's done, I'm going to release also the full review of that thermal camera. But that's what you're seeing up there. And if you keep your eye on that up top, you will see it will show us what the maximum temperature of it ever being reached is. And from my observation of watching through this video a couple times, the highest temperature I ever saw was, I think, 160s, in the 160s somewhere. We never, oh, no, I'm sorry. There was a 170 there. I think we saw a 170, maybe a 180. But I think that was it. I don't think we ever breached that for, you know, maybe a split second there. We never hit 200 the entire time. You'd have to be up around 300 to hurt the tempering of the knife. And I'm just, you know, occasionally dunking the knife to cool it down. but we were not anywhere, in any kind of zone to be concerned about with hurting the temper on this. But you can keep your eye on that thermal if you want to watch up there. It's kind of pretty cool to see how that is. And then, like I said, after this video, you'll see if you want, you can tune in for a full review of that thermal camera. It happens to be on sale right now on Amazon. The other thing, keep in mind, is Super Grit. These purple Bora 7 belts that I love come from our sponsor, Super Grit. They're really great to us. They give us a really nice discount. And don't forget, you can get the discount codes on my website. I'll put that in the description of the video. And all you have to do is take those codes when you go over and shop at Super Grit, and you get special pricing and a 10% discount on everything that's in there. So we actually have our own special pricing in addition to 10% off on top of that. So it's a pretty good deal. They're very, very good to us over there at Super Grit. Okay, now I'm going to switch to my 60 belt. You can see these Bora 7s, they just fit on here. They actually do grind a little bit away there, but they are, with the original wheel, it will fit. It's just enough. And you can see I'm not anywhere near full speed either. I'm keeping my speed kind of at a medium rate. I'm going to get an RPM detector so I can get an exact rate of speed on this machine. So this is a Bora 60 belt. So after I got the majority of the material off, I decided to jump to this one to get the remainder of it off and do a little bit more shaping. And then I will eventually hit it with the a 120 as well. And then also the Trizac belts to completely smooth that spine out again. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm just working that spine to get down to that line and get the right profile that I want here. And again, it looks like the top temperature we ever hit during this entire grind looked to be about 180. I saw 180 there for a split second, and that's it. For the most of the time, it seems to be running around, that 130, 140 range or less, and just depending on how long I stay on that belt. But we've never broken that 180, I don't think, at all, which is nice to see. Occasionally you're going to see me turning the knife to its side a bit. That's to remove some of the burr that's building up there, but also to round that spine out to make it nice and smooth. This is a 200 grit Trizac here. I very much like these for gardening stuff, but also when you've done a lot of grinding, I like this grit to really start to make the metal look nice again. This is where I start. Does a nice job of smoothing things out. And it'll really make the spine look good again. Just feeling for any rough spots. So you see we got our nice profile there. It's not rough. Everything there is looking good. Now we can go on to our regular sharpening. So what I'm going to do now, we do have a big chip here still that we need to take out. I'm going to return my Bucktool 2x42 to a 120 grit bore 7, and we will start reprofiling that blade, taking those chips out. Because of that significant chip, I'm going to start at a higher angle, and then we'll drop down to our 15-degree angle at the end. So I'm going to go all the way to 20. It's a pretty big chip. All right, adjusting my tracking. And if you guys haven't seen it yet, I am using the new angle guides that we have to work with Magswitch. So Magswitch is a magnet brand. We are still working on the discount. I know I mentioned that to some of you guys. They are they're trying to give us a 20% discount. The manager was having a problem with the software program that does it, and he said that was their intention. He's trying to figure out how to get it to do it. So he said he apologizes. He knows it's only 10% now. They're having their tech team work on it. So eventually that should be a 25% discount. And they have some really cool stuff there. I'm dying to hear back from some more of you guys. Close to 100 people have ordered these angle guides, and we might even be over 100 now. I have shipped a lot of them, and I have been printing nonstop. And I did actually go out, you guys might have seen it the other day, I did buy a third printer just to be able to keep up with the amount of you that didn't have printers and wanted to get these. And the good thing is the initial rush has kind of smoothed out, and we're getting steady amount of orders still every day, but it's been nice that it's made it a lot easier for me to keep up with the 3D printing and to make sure that I have them all in stock, which has been really good. And I am gonna before I post this, I will check and see if Magswitch got the discount for the Magswitch 95, I believe it is. It's the 95-pound hold magnet is the one that these were designed for, and if that is available, I will put that in the description as well. Hopefully they got that straightened out. We'll see here soon. Oh, I do have some cool news on the 1x30 area. A lot of the Vevor and Toolker guys have asked if we would make a set of these for that unit. We didn't want to do it this way because so many of those Vevors don't have magnetic platens, but Thor has a new design he's working on with no magnets. It's a really cool design. I've seen it, and I'm going to get a test unit, and when he's ready to go to market with it, I will let you all know. Feeling incredibly sharp again already. Now we're on to the last belt for my process. I like to finish with an A16. I have sometimes on Japanese knives gone even higher. I've gone up to like 2400 grit, but today we'll be doing just an A16 here on this one. And Oh, I found the thermal again. Kick that back on just to show you. But you guys have seen this one before, and from this angle before, it never reaches any temperatures that are concerning. And again, I'm just doing some finishing touches now with this A16 belt on the tip area that we ground down, making sure it's nice and smooth, no rough parts, nothing's going to cut anybody. It feels real nice. And that's all I'm doing. I'm just kind of rounding that out and removing any last abrasion marks from the previous grits. Everything looks good. Also, in case any of you are still interested in this Bucktool 2x42 is still on sale, and with my discount code, you get the biggest discount on this that Bucktool has ever given. It's $30 off the retail price of this unit, and it is still available. That sale is still running, and I will put that discount code and link in this video as well. Now I'm just doing some finishing stropping. Now I'm going to touch up just this mirrored area across the bottom on my leather wheel. And our paper cut test. Are we pushing? Absolutely. All right, complete repair done on the Bucktool with the thermal camera. And for those of you that aren't aware of what the description is, if you look at the bottom of the video, there's usually 3 dots or a place where it says more. If you click more, that's going to show you where all the links and things I discussed in this video are at. And if you're watching on your phone, it generally tends to be up in the top right corner, 3 little dots. Like and subscribe if you like the content of the channel, guys, and have a great weekend, everybody. I'll talk to you soon.